Hey, this is Mario with Good Vibes. Remember, good vibes, good times. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you can keep up with all the latest content. So, first of all, I'm going to show you basically how to build your own custom calendar that integrates with the CRM. Super awesome stuff, can save you time. You can do a lot of sexy things with it. But basically, the first thing you're going to want to do is go to settings. You're going to want to go to integrations. And then you're going to want to set up your account. Most people have Google, so you want to kind of set up your Google account with that. And then after you set up your Google account, you enter in your credentials. Then you'll want to go to your actual profile. So when you go to your profile, you'll have the option to configure your calendar. So you'll want to make sure you have it connected to your primary calendar, whatever calendar that you want to have synced for your booking a calendar. So you can do cool things too, where if you have maybe a personal calendar or something like that, that you don't, you want to check for conflicts and things like that, you can actually do that as well. So once you kind of have that set up on there, you just click edit and you would add that in there. Then you essentially would be good to go from that perspective. So the next thing is you'll want to create a calendar. So you can create as many calendars as you want for specific reasons. Maybe you want to have one that's like specifically for like virtual calls. So you could basically, you'll go to settings here, and then that will take you to calendars. You'll click calendars. And you can see I have one calendar on here, but you can create as many as you want. So the next thing is you would just click create calendar. You can create a simple one. You can create a round robin, like that way if you have like multiple people like profiles, you can actually have it where round robins just randomly. You can create one for class booking. So basically contacts can schedule a meeting with a single person or on your team, or collective booking meetings with multiple team members simultaneously. I'll do it for sales calls. That's maybe for people on your team. You want to create like a booking for multiple people on your team. Most people are going to just kind of start off with a simple calendar. So you would click that. You could name it. This is just we'll call it a virtual call calendar with Mario. You can even make the URL wherever you want to. So you could just say virtual Mario. There you go. You can make the calendar any duration you want. 30 minutes. It's pretty for maybe a virtual call standard. Maybe you want to even do a little bit shorter. I feel like these days, knock out a virtual call in 20 minutes is kind of like an ideal time frame. And then basically keep that all business hours. It's going to default to that, but you can make that really unique on there. You can even do things such as accept payments and things like that. I know some real estate agents, when they get maybe raw leads, they have a calendar for someone who's not pre-approved. Then basically they might have someone just pay $20, $50 just to book a consultation with them, just to kind of to be able to filter out red flags and things like that. Obviously, someone won't get a pre-approved letter and they're still demanding talking to them. Well, they actually can use a calendar actually as kind of a filter, and they're paying, maybe a little bit of money to put skin in the game, you know, then they may be, a qualified lead, or at least someone willing for them to spend their time on. So kind of up to you on that one if you actually want to use that as just kind of a buffer for you. Wouldn't be a bad idea. I just wouldn't make it a lot of money personally. I would just make it something. And depending on your industry, it may not be legal. So that just depends. So you got something called advanced settings here. You can do all sorts of sexy things. If you want to do sexier things, you can add your own kind of logo on here. You can even write a description here. Now, this is something I'd highly recommend that you'd adjust. So you're not going to want to be available at every time on a book, like a virtual booking calendar. Like maybe you only want to have it on like mornings on like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then also they're only going to see whatever you enter on here. So you want to look maybe overly available. So possibly you just want to look like maybe you're always booked. and just so you don't just get booked any random point of the day. So probably recommend maybe starting off with one of your calendars, just making it like, 3 days a week, and maybe throwing a day or a time on another day. But doing maybe smaller windows of time that way, for specific calendar calls that you have that honed in on certain times, so you kind of get in a schedule there. So dealer's choice on that. You can even make an option for recurring meeting if you want to. The meeting interval, meeting duration. You may want to get like a scheduling notice. Like I would just do like, 2 hours personally, just so you have a little bit of a notice there. Date range, you can kind of leave that blank. You can even make it where maybe I only want so many meetings in a day, and so you could cap it out after 3. And then you can create a buffer time. Maybe you just don't want back-to-back meetings. You want at least like a 10-minute break. So you could put a 10-minute buffer time there if you want to. Kind of, again, all this is just dealer's choice. That's what I like about this calendar. It's so customized. Create multiple ones for multiple reasons. Kind of just makes your life easier. And then you can even have it like redirect if you want to a specific URL. Let's see. Yeah, consent checkbox. I would have that. That's already on there. You want to get their consent when they book that. Let's see. And then that's the payments and things like that. You can have it send an acknowledgement email. I'm going to create another video where you can see on here for advanced notifications, use workflows, appointments, and book triggers. That's another just whole animal in itself as far as using the CRM, but you can get really creative as far as like setting, depending on what you're trying to do with it, but you can have it where it sends a notification out, an hour before your appointment. Either, it could drop a voicemail, it could text. I would recommend text. Text is the most useful way to prevent people from dropping out. And I would maybe have it like a text like a day before or 2 days before, and then text like an hour or 2 hours before, and then maybe an email. Now, this will automatically, if you hit contacts, it will automatically, once you book on this calendar, we'll send them at least one email, which is better than nothing. I'm gonna basically post a link on my YouTube channel as well, just how to create the the workflows as far as reminding these appointments right before, just prevent dropout rates. So I'll make a video on that. This dealer's choice in that one. If you want to send an invitation, I know on mine I have that clicked, and it actually sends like a automatic invitation, so you can click accept and it automatically populates in someone's calendar. Most people kind of live by their calendar now, so to get that email, they click that yes, then it's on their calendar, which is good. And then would prevent just no shows and things of that nature. Let's see. Now you would choose your calendar on this one. That's when I got connected. And you've got customizations as well. And you can basically have it make the notes here. It's got that code in there already. I wouldn't really tamper with this. That will basically give them the option to cancel and things of that nature. That's a reschedule link, so they'll send them that, and if they want to cancel, reschedule on that email that gets sent out, then they'll have the option to do that. Automatically populate, so I just would leave that be and let it kind of do its thing. The main thing is this notifications. You want to check the contact, and it's going to notify that contact when they enter in their information. Then they will receive that email, and maybe they want to cancel, and so they'll go in there and press cancel, and that'll automatically happen. And then you won't have to worry about if they cancel or they reschedule and choose another time on the calendar. And then it's basically going to save you time. You don't have to worry about any of that. So basically, we're going to click save. Also, I would recommend doing a two-way sync with your calendar. Execute automations, fire workflows, triggers, events. So have that clicked as well, so you're having some automation going on. You want a two-way. That way, if you book something on your calendar, then it goes to this calendar and vice versa, so it's in communication. That way you don't accidentally double book or something if you did happen to book from your other, just directly from your main calendar, if not from the CRM. Yeah, and that basically will get you started on a calendar. So we can click save here. And then we've got a calendar there, which is pretty cool. So if you ever kind of forget about your calendars, you can just kind of go to the calendar section under settings. You can look at this. You can click this three-dotted thing here. You can copy this code on if you have a website or something, you want a calendar embedded on your website, I would recommend that just because it look really professional. You also can just basically copy a permanent link here or a scheduling link. Those are going to be very similar. And you can deactivate at any moment that you want. You can edit it or even duplicate it. Maybe you want to tweak something. Don't want to go through the hassle of creating all that over again. You want to just tweak a couple things. Well, then you can just duplicate it and then edit that. But let's copy this link. That's your link if you just want to send someone a link, and you also have the code too. Again, if you're trying to do sexy things like put on a website. So let's search. Yeah, and this pops up available times, and then they can basically look at the times here that I've marked available. They can click here, continue, and then they can enter in their information. And again, all this will go into the CRM. So it'll capture their first name, last name, email, phone number. They could even write notes to you. And then they got basically they'll have to check that box as well. Just as kind of a little consent thing you got going on. And that's basically it. So you have a link if you just want to send it directly to someone, or you don't know how to, put code on websites. You can have it, your website just kind of 3-in-1 direct this link if you want to, or maybe embed it on like an email footer or something like that. And then basically you've got a really cool calendar, and that right off the bat will send someone an email. So you can do other cool things with this. Like you can actually fill out forms and get more comprehensive with, like, maybe you're sending someone a form for a specific event, they can fill out form, and you can have maybe specific things in there that you want them to create. You can actually create that's in their custom fields. Maybe it's like again, a real estate agent saying, I want to create a first time home bar seminar or something. You're sending a form, get someone to fill it for your seminar, and you can actually make a form, link it to a calendar. You can even enter on there like, hey, have you been pre-approved yet? That's a good question. Or when's your buying time frame? And that way you have some already when they're filling out the form to book with you, then you already have some information. You can even maybe enter in like, what's your, qualifying factors such as credit score and things like that. You can get really creative with that. Whatever industry you're in, you get very creative with that. So I hope this helps. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe.